Oh, so powerful, because you can hear Brian's voice. And I think at one point we actually cut Brian's voice into the film when we had an unclear dialogue from John's, and you couldn't tell the difference because John had captured the essence of Brian so well.
Leave right now. The guy in the gray hoodie is robbing the bank.
Who's in charge here?
Well, she is, but we're both.
I'm the manager. Estelle Valerie.
Still, once they leave, you lock the front and back doors, you understand me? You lock them all.
Hey, it's Jim Alexander with Real Talker. You guys might be hanging out. When I was watching this movie, it was like an hour 45 of like tension packed. Like I couldn't believe something in a bank could be this like thrilling and just intense. I don't know how you guys wrote this, but to do something in one location with 3 people and make it tense for an hour 45, I'm not sure how this is done.
I think it's done by having a brilliant director.
I think it's done by having a brilliant co-writer.
Do you guys write for tension? Because tension's something I don't know if you can write for. It's just that thing. Once you have the lenses locked in to captivate a viewer, I just couldn't move, literally. How do you do that, especially when there's not much going on technically instead of like action where your characters are like isolated in a given kind of contraption?
You know, and Abby, forgive me, I'm going to jump in first, if I may. And actually, one of the directions that Abby gave us when we were right from the very beginning, I can remember when she said it because I tweeted it the next day.
It's all to the world.
Right, that's the whirlwind. She said, every scene, we got to head for the hottest part of the fire. And that was a beautiful guide. Actually, she said it again today, and I'm going to just write it and keep it on any wall that I'm on when you're writing, because looking for the hottest part of the fire has a strength to it, a tension to it, and that's where Abby guided us.
Abby, it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable thing to have to do, but it means that every department head, every actor has to get to that point. And that's how you craft tension.
Interesting. Well, it's accomplished very well as a group right there. When I'm watching this, I knew John Boyega is a heck of an actor, but this is another level here. Like I was constantly thinking of young Denzel, just on his mannerisms, his speech pattern. It was just very interesting. Did he tell you guys what he channeled or not? Because this is for sure his best performances I've seen, but he had that kind of quality, like the Denzel quality of John Q. It just kept on coming up to me when I'm watching it, because it's something to make something that isn't happening much, like we talked about, so polarizing.
John is a generational talent. He's a man in command of his craft, of his body, of his art, and he has so much to give. And when he turned up as Brian, he was ready to pour out. He'd done his work and he was ready to go. He's ready to make you laugh, cry, feel inside out. John is John, and he channeled Brian. He's an actor who has the tool set to be able to walk in another person's shoes and allow you as an audience to feel what that's like. It's an immense ability.
That's unbelievable. And since this is based on a true story, which is crazy to think about, did you guys have contact with the real people who were the bank manager or teller, or is this more through like stories you've gathered? Because I'd imagine that would be useful potentially to talk to the people who were involved in that. And how much liberty do you take, really, since this is a true story?
You know, our very first draft, and Kwame, feel free to jump in, please. Our very first draft, I think, was what, like 200 pages long?
3-hour movie.
Yeah, exactly. And it was pretty much verbatim what happened that day, because we had talked with so many people involved. We talked with the negotiator, we talked with Brian's wife, who'd been on the phone, and we listened to the recordings, the transcripts. Oh, so powerful. Because you can hear Brian's voice. And I think at one point we actually cut Brian's voice into the film when we had an unclear dialogue from John's, and you couldn't tell the difference because John had captured the essence of Brian so well. You could not tell the difference. But yeah, we did our best to really dig into the truth of what happened there.
Unbelievable. Well, you guys had me on edge, so mission accomplished, and a lot of messages along the way that are really important to know. So, Kwame, get yourself a neon sign of that quote, by the way.
Yes.
Actually,
I want one too.
Like your neon there. I think I'm going to get one pretty damn soon.
It will remind you every day. So there you go. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for sharing great story and just writing it captivatingly.
Thanks, Jim.
Beautiful.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.